here we are, back for another one. Then it's Yar, mate, and we've come to Shrewsbury Sports Village today. Signs up there, I'm showing you, look. And we're here for a 2-3. It was, supposed to be a 2-3, but it's turned into a 2-3-4, I think. With it being a bank holiday, there's a lot of people maybe away, so numbers were dwindling a little bit, which is a shame because it's a really good venue. Like, so we're gonna give it a go. And look at this today, Rad Dad Dizzle. We're gonna give it a go. Not feeling the best, I've got to be honest. However, get the excuses in early. We can't use that as a full excuse, can we? So let's give it a go. Historically, I've always liked it here, so we'll see how we get on today. Some hitters here again, as always. Sundorne 2-3-4, and like any good Zwift race, it goes off at 1,000 miles per hour. Now, I wasn't feeling that great on the bike. I just felt like I'd got no snap at all in my legs, and you'll see that it's quite evident through the video how just coming out the hairpins, I'm just struggling to stay on that wheel. Yeah, it was a bit of a sufferfest. Some hitters in this today, notably Nicky Morris, a good friend of mine, and also races for Clee Cycles. Kurt Vickers in here, another super strong rider, I believe has been a first cat in the past. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I feel like he's definitely strong enough to be a first cat. Dominic Horsfield of Reflex No Pins, who I've raced a couple of times now, super strong. And Mark McCann, who I've raced with many times over the years. Loves his crit racing and always goes really well. So as we come to the end of this first lap, then you'll notice as we cross the finish line, it was absolutely blowing a gale, which I didn't need because I was feeling absolutely flat as a pancake. But as we come to the end of this first lap, I'm going to let this one play out. You're going to see some attacking. It was mental. I suffered a bunch. Let's have it.
Just up to here. Yeah. First one, I'll be on your wheel.
Here we are then, with a shade over 2.5 laps to go. Nicky's just called me forward and said I'm going to be first into this hairpin on the last lap. You know the score, you want to be on my wheel. So at this point in the race then, there is 3 people up the road. There's a group of 2, Kurt Vickers and another guy, and then a lad who's gone solo, who is sort of in between in no man's land. Now it was really windy. As you can see from the bunch, there is not a lot of cohesion going on. It was quite surgy, and when it was on, it was really on. And then at times, as we are now, you can see we are just coasting, which allows that breakaway to just keep pulling and pulling away. It would have been extremely difficult for somebody to have gotten across solo as well to the breakaway. I was happy for it to be a bit steady going into the final lap, as it just surges forward again there. Now my only concern at this point is just being locked onto Nicky's wheel. I know I need to stay with Nicky, as that's my best opportunity at getting to the finish in a good position. The 3 up the road now, they're long gone, so we are now battling it out for 4th place, as the lad from Aerologic just sneaks up the inside of me there, but I just managed to carry a little bit of speed, and I'll tuck nicely back onto Nicky's wheel. Now we've had a bit of a breather also on this penultimate lap. What I don't want it to do is bunch up too much. I hate that when it's sort of, you get swamped at the end of a race. I like it to be a little bit strung out. I find it's a little bit safer almost when you're not battling for position in a bunch. And I've got one more match to burn. Let's see what I can do with it on this last lap. As we go through the finish line then, with a lap to go, my only concern is staying locked onto Nicky's wheel throughout this last lap and staying in a nice position, but also keeping out of trouble as well. These crit races, they can get a little bit critty at the end of a race when people are jostling for position, especially when there's hairpins involved. So I want to stay nice and near the front. As this lad Alistair, I believe his name is, just kicks down the inside there. I leave a little bit of a gap, and Mark McCann just puts himself straight in there, which was a brilliant bit of riding. Luckily I just managed to swap sides, and then I'm straight back onto Nicky's wheel again. And again, like Nicky said, he wanted to be first into that hairpin. Off he goes, and he just absolutely sends it into this hairpin. I'm struggling to hold his wheel there, and then he kicks out. Like I said, I'd got no snap, so I was struggling to hold the wheel, but I do just manage to get myself back on nice. Nicky takes a glance behind there. Now he did tell me to keep left, so as we're coming towards the finish, I just sneak off to the left. He has a little glance, he knows I'm there, and I'm giving it everything I've got left. And there we go, we salvage a 4th place finish, and there's a few more points on the board. You know what to do. Like and subscribe, drop a comment down below if you enjoyed this video. I am going to try and get a few more of these out. Thanks for watching, ya mates.